So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce our special guest today, Mr. HEXrayVision. He is a true crypto enthusiast and has made it his mission to inform and educate the plebs, if you will. He informs everyone and educates everyone and others about the world of cryptocurrencies, from hosting his own live streams, of doing how-to videos, live streaming with other crypto experts. HEXrayVision is always on the forefront of the latest crypto news and trends. He's got a passion for helping others achieve his financial freedom and their financial freedom and escape the 9-to-5 rat race. And of course, he's got a wealth of knowledge, folks. He is a valuable member of our community, but not only that, the cryptocurrency community as well. So for anyone looking to learn more information about that, all of his links are in the description down below. He's got an engaging personality, dynamic approach to teaching, and he has definitely built a loyal following as well. So sit back, relax, and let's get ready to learn from what I consider to be someone in the best in the business. Welcome, HEXrayVision. How are you, my friend?
Wow. Make sure I got this unmuted, but I just tweeting out to this, letting everyone join the party, punch a bear.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, is punching the bear in the throat.
Punching the bear.
That's such a kind and I'm going to clip that and use that for my intro from now on. That was way too kind. I appreciate it. But no, a little bit about me, if no one's seen me or met me before. I was like a dad of 4. I was trying to figure out any way I could to financially retire as soon as possible. Ever since I was working at Burger King and Denny's as a teenager, I thought to myself, how do people go to a job for 40 to 60 years? And not just take a short walk off of a long walk off a short deck. Like this is insane. People treat you like crap at work. You don't make enough money to really enjoy life, and all those hours of your life are just gone. You're never going to get them back. And so I dove headfirst and obsessed over a lot of things, like real estate, stocks, forex trading, you name it. I would stick my head down there. MLMs. I went all the way down every single one of those rabbit holes, and at the end of that rabbit hole, usually the answer was, this is either A, for rich people.
Yep.
Or B, you need to start one of these things to make money.
Yep.
The opportunity wasn't there for the normal guy. And so I finally was in one leg of my journey where I was a truck driver. So the last 10 years before I retired, I was driving truck, and I spent all of my time behind the wheel listening to podcasts and YouTube about crypto. As soon as I found it, I was like, this is actually the shot I've been looking for. This is a way that anyone can invest a little bit of money. And if they figure out this crazy world, it's such a new technology that you can actually outpace inflation, and you can actually outpace life, because life comes at you. I mean, you've got some little human beings. I've got some little human beings. And I started stacking Bitcoin back in 14 or 15. It was probably in the beginning of 15, honestly, when I started stacking it, and I was using it to gamble, because we all love to gamble. 99% of crypto is just straight up degen gamblers right now. That's the use case. The use case of Hex. The use case of Hex is people speculating on, obviously we trust that the code's going to do what it's going to do, and that we're going to get our yield, which is amazing. Like, that is a life-changing thing. But on top of that, we're also speculating that the price of Hex is going to continue to climb and go higher than our need for the money. Right. So I'm stacking sats and trying my hardest to scrape every penny that I can off of the budget. And I'm full of anxiety and fear. My stomach's twisted up in knots, because I know that one bad move back home, because I'm out on the road, move back home, like, let's say the transmission blows on the minivan. Let's say the kids have to go to the ER for a broken arm or something. That wipes out my whole stack of sats. I'm back to zero, because, like I said, life comes at you. So I'm following all this stuff in crypto. I'm chasing the altcoins. I'm losing a bunch of money chasing the altcoins, chasing the pump and dumps.
Learning, man. That's what I call that. Just learning the tricks of the trade.
And I got to give a shout out to Luke Rudowski. He's a journalist that's with the anarchists and the voluntarists, way back in the day, I was part of like Anarcho-Poco, and I was just trying to find freedom in my life. And I met him down there on the beach, and I said, "Hey, man, like, what's the next hot coin?" And he said, "Don't sleep on Bitcoin." And this is right before Bitcoin did that crazy dominance where it basically took back the entire market.
Wow.
And so I went back to the good old Bitcoin, and I found Richard Hart, because Richard Hart was one of the only people that was calling out Ethereum for the problems that it had. He was the only one calling the tops and the bottoms. The dude was not missing on Bitcoin. So I started following him, and then I would go back and watch his self-help videos, and I was like, hey, this guy is actually bringing a lot of value to the world, and he's not asking anything in return. He had nothing to sell. He had nothing, no paid groups, nothing back then. And eventually he came out with the CFD token, which he decided not to pursue.
Right.
Because it was too complicated. And then he said, well, I'm just going to do a CD on the blockchain. I'm just going to do a coin that pays you interest. And I was like, that's brilliant. Because you'd think that someone had already done it.
Right.
And no one had actually tackled it. So long
story
longer.
That's a crazy, backstory. Like, I mean, going back to what you're talking about, right? Basically trying everything you can. You got your feet dipped in every single pool and every single water to guarantee yourself and your family's future somehow, some way. And I think what's funny in our community, in the Hex community, should I say, for the most part, is we're all looking for that very same thing. And I've heard the same stories said in different ways from a few people, right? And you're very fortunate to have found Richard Hart back when he was just talking about self-help and self-development, because that's a different side of Richard that a lot of folks really have yet to understand or even see, because a lot of folks aren't going back and watching his old videos. So even whenever I joined, I think it was, early 2021, I missed the big payday. I joined after that, and that was my journey and my start. But I got to still see a lot of Richard Hart really help and educate, and then everyone joining within the last 2022, basically saw him do the outreach marketing. And so it was a different side of Richard that a lot of folks didn't even know. And I'm sure even back then he was even perceived as a different person. He definitely has multiple sides.
He was an asshole. He was a straight up asshole. Even when he was giving advice, he was an asshole. And
he is, but he hits you. He punches you in the face, man.
Yeah, he was so arrogant, and he wasn't there to suffer fools, as you would say. And going back to our military backgrounds, luckily I speak asshole, because I went to basic training, and in basic training you have someone screaming in your face, being the most intense, like just really. Yeah,
you ain't never seen that shit before in your life. You know what I mean? You're like, you would not do this to me in the real world, and then there you are in the real world, and someone's screaming at you. Yeah, I feel you.
But you have to listen to what the drill sergeant's saying.
Yep.
As you're trying to deal with like this intense situation, right?
Yep.
So as soon as I heard him, I was like, the first few sentences I said to myself, I kid you not, I was like, this guy's a genius. This dude is a genius. The first few ideas he put together, I was like, no, this dude's a genius.
I had a similar feeling and similar preference. So let me go through and chat. Let's say what's up to everyone in chat real fast. Let me switch up the window. We got Big GZ coming through. HEXray and ATX cooking with fire. Yes, sir. We got Gabriel in the house. Yo, yo, yo. Debbie, hello. What's up, Miss Debbie? We got HEXrayVision saying hello to everyone, and let's go. Absolutely keeping it 100. Amazing intro. Debbie G, thank you so much for the kind words. And, I truly mean all of it, right? You know what I mean? HEXray has done so much for not only our community, but the crypto space in general, right? He really does try to encompass everyone through his streams, try to share the knowledge and his crypto experts when he has them on. So I'm hoping to bring something similar to what he brings to the table as well. So I definitely have, some questions lined up already. Amazing life journey. The hex code makes perfect sense. No middleman D. That's it, Big GZ. Right there. You said it. So what's crazy about the whole thing with Richard Hart, and you said it, whenever I heard him talk, it wasn't that I could hear the asshole tonality that he still will bring to people, right? It's like you said, you get past it. To me, that doesn't faze me one way or another. But what I heard was him speaking only facts, and that's what really stood out to me. It was like, by far, he's not opinionated. Well, he is opinionated, don't get me wrong, but when he says something, it's backed behind factual evidence as well. And so he's able to formulate his own ideas and his own thesis and his own personality, and then convey it with facts. Like, you know, like everyone doesn't know about the Bitcoin, you know, hacks that have happened with the inflation bugs that they had. Like, everyone joining Bitcoin now today is like, Bitcoin's the best and it's the best security and it's never had any issues. Well, and then you hear Richard Hart talk and he's like, here's this, here's this, here's this. And you're like, holy shit, I didn't know about any of it. And it was all factual. So whenever I heard him talk, it wasn't like he was coming at with his own opinion. It was literally facts. And that's what I loved about it. So right there with you with that exact same sentiment. So, you know, I got some fun questions lined up today. If you're ready to go ahead and start banging out some questions right now. And
sure, I was just going to try and put a cap on that long,
go ahead.
arduous story,
Yep.
which was basically, if Hex had paid me interest the same way, if Bitcoin had paid me interest the way Hex does, I would have retired like years earlier.
Right.
Years early, because I was hodling. I was holding
Right.
the price up of Bitcoin, and I was, you know, getting treated like a little minnow in the ocean.
Wow.
Right. So when was able to, when Hex hit the number that I needed it to, because what I'd do is I'd stake 90% and I'd keep 10% liquid for emergencies. And my 10% was enough money to make sure I never had to work again.
Wow.
Especially getting me to the next, you know, the next stakes that were coming out. And so I took that leap of faith. And Matty Allen talks about sudden wealth syndrome. I'm telling you, sudden wealth syndrome is real. Yeah. Like, it's a real mind. Mind
fuck. Yeah, you could say, man. I cuss on this channel. We got Sailor's Mouse over here.
Yeah, it's a mind fuck, and you really are like wondering, okay, I was this dude that was chasing this goal for over 20 years. Now I caught it. Who am I?
Yeah.
And it was like, I should have set another goal before I caught that goal. And so I took some months to sit with it, and I thought, I want to see if I can take the 8-year journey that I went on, and I want to see if I can shorten it to something that I can share with other people and save them that 8 years of pain and frustration. And let's just say 1 million people, 1 million families. Let's try to help 1 million families become financially free through crypto, because I knew that was a big enough goal that I wouldn't have to set another one, because I'm lazy. And it's also something that I knew I was passionate about, that would keep me hungry.
Right.
And so that's where the 1 million families came from. That's just where I wanted to kind of round it out.
No, that's a crazy big number. You know, I've always said it myself, that if I can just change one person's life, you know, like, my life has been worth it in that regard. And you know, I've been able to have some impacts through my Marines. I've been able to have impacts through the social media influences. I've been able to have impacts through people I've worked with. But, you know, like, I don't know if it's that life-changing moment. And I found that crypto was potentially a life-changing moment, that I wanted to make sure that I can, you know, share the journey with everyone, right? And so I started the stream kind of the same sentiment, right? That I was like, if I just help one person, you know, even if it's just, you know, talking them off a ledge, or doing something that they, you know, you can't turn back from, or whatever the case may be, like, that's an impact that I can, you know, go to sleep with nice, peaceful eyes. And that's my goal, right? Just to always have some impact on someone's life, whether it's large or small. I definitely want someone to take something away from what we have, because life is short, man. Life is fucking crazy short. As 100 years doesn't sound that long, you know, or sounds incredibly long, whichever way you want to say it. But in reality, like, 100 years in the grand scheme of things is like a drop in the water, like you said, right? So, you know, I just want to make sure that I can, because we aren't guaranteed to wake up the next day, man. That's just one of those things. So, oh man, that's a fun little point. But yeah, definitely love it. So let's kick off some questions real fast. And again, you know, let's see right here. So some of the questions are going to be out the wall fucking wild, just because, you know, it's just what we have. And why not, right? So what do you think sets Hex apart from other cryptocurrencies? Let's just start with, you know, something easy, I can say.
Yeah, number one, it's a community. No community comes close to us. I don't care if you're part of Cardano, XRP, Doge. You don't have the success that we've had, and you don't have the love that we have. Period. There's no
Facts.
second place to this community.
Facts.
Nobody
I
can
love
touch
that.
us.
No, I don't know if you saw Ivan on Tech's post the other day on Twitter, where he basically was asking, hey, we got two big communities, Cardano and Hex, who wins? And I went through it on my stream as well, and I didn't see one. This is over 100,000 people viewed the post, and I didn't see one person post Cardano. Not one. Like it was Hex, 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 all the way down. Like it was thousands of comments, and it was all Hex. And I was like, literally, no one's even gonna speak up from the Cardano community. Like, I get they're big and they're massive, and they got their own founder, but that was coming from someone who wasn't even a Hexican. And that's why I love that post so much more, because if it's coming from one of our community members and everyone's like Hex out the water, I'm like, okay, cool. I see that to be the case. But Ivan on Tech doesn't talk about Hex, folks, by the way. He hasn't really, he's mentioned it, kind of like in passing, could say hi to somebody basically, but yeah, he doesn't talk about it as open as us Hexicans will. And the fact that they just smashed, and I mean destroyed that post with Hex and Hex only. So I'm right there with you. Community definitely wins, and I love that answer as well. So let's see if you can explain PulseChain, the layer 1 crypto project, in just 3 words.
3 words. That's tough, actually.
Yep. It's easy to talk about PulseChain.
I had it until you put the 3 words in there. I would say most evolved network.
Can you go into a little bit more detail? Now I'm actually curious. So I love that.
The first network we've got is Bitcoin, really. That was like the genesis.
Okay.
And a lot of love and a lot of brilliant people put time and energy into that network. Unfortunately, it's been commandeered and taken over by a bunch of I don't think I can even say those words on your stream. But it's been taken over by some people that do not want you to be free and do not want you to succeed.
Oh, you mean just a centralized exchange,
Well, like Blockstream and back in the day, you go back in the day, and there were people intentionally throwing wrenches in making Bitcoin faster and cheaper and helping it reach its goal of becoming peer-to-peer cash.
Right.
And it just turned out that it was not going to make it. It was sabotaged basically. So then you have Ethereum, and Ethereum was brilliant out the gate because Vitalik he's a genius, and he came up with the Turing complete, where you can have a yes, no, or a third option, which is if then. And the if then option on blockchain allows smart contracts. So that was huge and beautiful and wonderful. But yet again, you got a group of people that have taken over the Ethereum foundation or alliance. I forget what
foundation.
They call themselves. But people have taken that over, and now that's VCs and Wall Street and government. They've dug themselves in. In fact, the only reason I believe that they upgraded to proof of stake is to give their friends money instead of the miners. That was it. It didn't have anything to do with making it better. They simply had to go pay some bills to their pimps.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. And I think that Hex presented such a threat to Ethereum, because imagine that you have a layer 1, right? You have the Ethereum network and you have the Ethereum token.
Right.
Well, or actually in that state, it would be a coin. But imagine that some token on your network becomes more valuable than you are. Like you can't have that. No. And as soon as we were pumping and showing some concern, that's when they changed I forget what it's called, but basically they tripled our fees.
Yeah.
They didn't have to triple them. There was no reason. They said, oh, in the future this might be an exploit, and they tripled our fees with our smart contract, which was like shady and sketchy. And I was paying $100, $300, $500 fees during 2021.
Oh, that was brutal.
Trade, start and end stakes, to do anything. I was paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I thought, if I wasn't early and had a big bag, this would wipe me out. All the people I tried onboarding didn't have enough money
Right.
to
Yeah, and I
onboard.
think that was a hard thing too that I was seeing about 2021 was you like you said you wanted to buy $50 worth of hex. Well, good luck. It was $40 worth of fees, and you get $10 in hex, and it's like that trade. If you're trying to talk someone into staking, and then God forbid that's not even staking, that's just swapping it to hex. It was $40 just to fucking swap, and then if you wanted to stake, it was like, hey, you better get ready to pay another $50 or whatever it was, and then once that stake ends, you better be ready to stake long, because if you do a short stake, you're not gonna make money on it, and yeah, it was a tough thing, but somehow in 2021 we still had that bull market, and hit the peak and went up and did absolutely crazy numbers, and I'm thankful that I got to see the rally up and I got to see the fall down. Taught me a lot. I think everyone says it, and you can probably preach to this as well. You learn in your first bear cycle or your first cycle in crypto, and then you earn in your second cycle. And with Hex, I was actually fortunate. I gotta say, I've already been able to become semi-retired due to what I was able to do with Hex. And that was an incredible thing, and I just happened to be very fortunate because I had done very well in my jobs in other areas in the finance world before I even got into crypto, and I was able to move a lot of that capital into Hex, and I actually got rid of like everything else because I was like, dude, nothing else compares. And the security and sense of relief that I felt whenever I found Hex was incredible. So to me, it made perfect sense. I was like, all in, let's go. But to try to tell someone else, like, and again, not even try to tell, but they look at you like you're just a fucking madman. And you're like, bro, you're spending the 401k to give to someone you don't even know who's going to do something you don't even know with that's going to take 40, 50 years. Like, and I'm the crazy one. You got your mind backwards, man, but it's something that we all have, we've all learned as well. So let's pull up that chat one more time again. I love seeing everyone in here. Thank you to everyone who is tuning in right now. An absolute banger of a video we're gonna have on today. Like I said, HEXrayVision, dude, he definitely has a wealth of knowledge, and I want to try to extract as much as I can while I got him on the stream. So we got Cash Up Cash. Hey, happy Friday. Oh fuck, it is Friday. Leo, when you do a daily stream, guys, it's you kind of lose track of what day of the week it is. You're just like, oh, it's 1:30. I need to hop on the stream. And, I think that's why, like, Hexologist, our boy Hexologist, is doing his thing now on Monday through Friday, because he wants that Friday feeling again, right? You want to...
It's the only way you know what day it is once you retire. Like, I'll go to the store and be like, what is going on? Where is everyone? It'll be like, oh, it's a Sunday. It doesn't feel like a Sunday.
Yeah, I do the same. Why is it so fucking busy here, right? And it's like, oh, everyone's actually off today, right? This is what it normally looks like, right? It's oh, too funny. Yeah, once you actually have that life. But it's the same thing, guys, and it's something when you do retire, it's a great feeling. It's a great thing to have. We have our community, but if you don't have other friends who've also retired with you, it can get a little bit tough, and that's why I am excited for PulseChain to come out, because I was able to get lots of folks into the ecosystem in that regard, and so I want them to be able to come and join the retirement life with me, so we can just go and do our thing. Because it's like, hey, I want to go disc golf. Oh, you got to work. Okay, I get you. All right, I want to go to let's go to the theme park today, or whatever the case may be. Whatever you want to do. Go bowling for fucking 3 hours. I don't really know. I'm a big fan of bowling, so.
All right. Do you want to know this weird idea that me and my wife have?
Oh yeah, go.
Now that we're balling and retired, we want to go check out the new what's it called, the Avatar movie?
Yeah.
The Avatar movie's like 18 hours long or something like that,
right? Yeah.
And so I'm like, if I'm sober, I don't want to go sit in a movie theater that long.
Right.
And so we've decided we're going to go watch it in parts and just walk out of the theater when we're done. because we can go whenever we want, and we can afford the ticket. In fact, so there's this movie called Father. There's this movie called Father Stew. I don't know if you saw it.
I haven't seen that one.
It's just some movie about Mark Wahlberg, like,
shit, that's funny.
Being like a real crazy
I've seen the
dude,
trailer. I've seen the trailer for it.
Sure. So my wife and I go to this movie. We were going to go see something else that wasn't there, so we went and saw that one. And halfway through, I was like, I don't I don't care about watching the rest of this movie. Like, and she's like, I don't either. And we got up and we walked out of the theater, and it blew my mind, because it used to be that a movie ticket and babysitters and all this stuff was like so much money. It's like, we're staying through the, I don't care how shitty this movie is. We're watching every second of it.
Yeah, you get mad at each other and you're like, we're going no matter what still.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I don't care if this movie sucks. Or like, have you ever gone out, you order a plate of food at a restaurant, it's not that good? Well, I was raised with a mindset of scarcity. There was never enough. And we never got to go out to eat or do anything fancy as a kid. So I used to like eat whatever I had, no matter what. And then it comes one day, it just, the light bulb comes on your head, and you're like, you don't have to eat this. It's not if you don't like it. And it literally, it blows your mind. These paradigms come at really weird moments in your life. So
yeah, and that's anyway. My wife is Chinese, and her mother is like ultra fucking Chinese. My wife's British Chinese actually, so, but her mother is like ultra fucking Chinese, and whenever I say that, I'm talking like, if you ask for any food whatsoever, you better eat every little lick of it on your plate, and do not go back for seconds if you're not planning on finishing that plate, because she will make you feel like the worst human being ever for leaving a fucking pea on your plate. And you're like, I ate everything else. It was delicious. I'm full. She's like, other people would really die for that. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry I came here. Like, but it's like if you hear it, man, like I got grilled whenever I first met my wife at the time, and you know, before I got a chance to marry her, I got grilled through her mom. Like it was like the awkward dad meeting that you would have, but it was her mom, and I didn't realize that it could ever be that way, because her dad's like the fucking chillest dude ever, laid back, like just an absolute blast to hang around. You could say whatever and just joke with it. And then her mom was like, what are you planning on doing? How is this? What did you do this? What did you do there? Why did you do that then? And it was like, you're asking questions you're asking questions that I've never said answered to anyone. So who are you? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean,
probably some questions you never even considered yourself.
No, but I mean, it gets personal, right? She over here getting real personal. Like, I don't know if it's and she uses it like a language barrier, right? Like, oh, I don't quite understand, but I'm like, no, you understand. You just playing that fucking card.
She's like playing good cop, bad cop.
Oh yeah, it was brutal, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Bright Light Crypto, what's going on? The Pulse Tube, absolute banger, guys. Check out thepulsetube.com. They do phenomenal work in our Hex ecosystem as well. If you want to find out some other streamers to follow besides myself and HEXrayVision. Again, guys, all the links are in the description down below, so you can check out HEXray's channel. I highly advise going to check it out. He's got great content he puts out every single day. Not every day. Don't quote me on that. My apology if I say that, but he's got great interviews that he pulls out these interviews from so many other projects that are being built in our ecosystem. And so if you actually really want to find out some more information, definitely check out his stream and his channels as well. Yeah, ultra Chinese for real. Like there's levels of it, I feel like, and she on that, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, she an 11 type deal. But yeah, what's up, Tin Top? What's up, Hexicans? Hello.
Tin Top is Tin Top, Sunny Beach. I mean, like Red Squirrel, Torin. Like, there's so many people that show up in every single stream all the time. Facts. And I can't express to them how much that means to me to have them there to support us. Like, these are crazy. The reason that we do this.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's the growth that I've seen already in just my channel. Really, once, you know, I started doing the daily streams, but even before that, I think I was at like 400 subscribers, something along that line. Started doing the dailies, and now I'm at like 670 or something, and it's just flying. It's just one of those things that it's because of everyone watching. It's because, and again, like I'll hop on other people's streams, and they're on those streams. I feel like it's a like Bally Brand. Like I feel like everyone's getting to that level of Bally Brand used to be on every fucking stream all at once. He had like 5 streams going on, and he would be chatting in every single one. And like, shout out to Bally Brand, dude. Love what he was doing. I'm glad he's getting his little relaxation moment in time. I just subscribed to HEXrayVision. Yo. Thank you, Jason.
I'll take everyone I get. I'm the opposite of rags to riches. So rags to riches says don't like, comment, subscribe. I'm like, dude, I will take you out to dinner if I just get one more sub. Like I will watch your car if you just share a tweet, bro.
Oh, hold on. My wife's coming through. Everything good? Oh, okay. Everything all good though? Okay. Love you. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got to give a shout out to HEXray Chick. HEXray Chick was named HEXray Chick because I named her, and again, I'm lazy. So I just took my name and added Chick to it, and she's really taken the whole YouTube channel by the horns and like really fixed a lot of stuff. Got some good editors, got some good thumbnail artists, and really sets up a schedule. We're going to be going on vacation next week. We're going to go down to Florida to this crazy festival called Love Burn, which is it's Miami's Burning Man. So I'm sorry, it's Florida's Burning Man, and it's out on an island. And she went and got me shorts and little videos and stuck them the whole time I was there. So it looks like I'm professionally pumping out content. So I can't give a big enough shout out to HEXray Chick for a ton of reasons, obviously. But
for sure, she's
the manager in my life. She's the one running shit.
Well, thank you, HEXray Chick, for helping him out. That's a freaking. Yeah. And how did that end up happening? Did that something just kind of organically happen through like your streams, through Twitter? What was the kind of first method that y'all were able to actually connect?
Well, like I basically, I mean, we've been married for 24 years.
Yeah.
So like she's my ride or die. She's the mother to 5 kids. She's my best friend, honestly.
Oh, yeah, boy.
And I was trying to do the YouTube thing because I was so sick of sitting at people's kitchen tables for 4 hours trying to get them. Coinbase is the worst part of crypto. The exchanges are the worst part of crypto. You spend 4 hours trying to get people onto an exchange,
and then
you come back a week later and their shit is still frozen.
Yeah.
And then you're calling the bank, and the bank's like, "This looks suspicious." You're like, "Put the money in there, you pieces of shit." Like, there's so much frustration getting the money into MetaMask. Once it's in MetaMask, it's 10 minutes. Anyone can do anything in 10 minutes. But so I was like, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. And so I just bought a bunch of equipment, started filming and doing like these Zoom calls and everything I could to try to scale that process. Because I'm like, if I'm going to do this once, I might as well just let everyone see it. And then that kind of morphed into like tech talk, and like I started meeting all these other insanely awesome Hexicans because I'd reach out to Ballot Brand, I'd reach out to Rags to Riches, and they'd make time for me. And I'm like, dude, I'm nobody. I'm just some little fish here, and you guys, I'm still a little fish. But you guys are so kind and so like welcoming. Like they give me so much time and effort. I couldn't believe it. And so that's where it kind of grew. And then it kind of grew to where point is like, if I want to hit this 1 million family mark, I've got to like really reach a lot more people. And so I started hiring consultants that work in YouTube. Like I actually hired a dude that works for Mr. Beast.
Wow.
And paid him a ton of money just to have a 1 hour call.
Right.
And I'll talk to you about that after the stream. But he was basically breaking down, this is exactly how YouTube works. This is why YouTube shares you or doesn't share you. This is why YouTube's like whatever it works. So we started doing that, and I was trying my hardest to hire a bunch of people to help me. And I'm not a manager. Right. I'm not. I'm a friend, and I'm a visionary. I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And then I give everyone hugs.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I don't plan shit. I don't strategize. I won't call people out on their shit. Like if they do something wrong, I just pay them, and I'm like, So like, my wife is like, well, I was like, you're an idiot. Why are you paying these people? Nothing's right. So she kind of took the bull by the horns, and she's been like just kicking ass and taking names. So anything good you see, or you see my subscriber count start to rise, that's all her.
Hell yeah.
Where she's just like for instance, I have a project we're working on right now, and I have this crazy idea for a coin where I'm trying to trick people into delayed gratification.
Okay.
Right. Because like, for instance, exercise and diet are really good for you, but nobody wants to lift weights and eat carrots. Nobody.
I don't either.
But if you trick them into it, like if you trick someone into a game of tag, then they're having fun, but they're exercising. They forget that they're exercising. Or if you make some crazy looking thing with your carrot, a kid will eat it because he's eating something cool instead of a carrot.
Right.
So I've got this project that you can check out. You can go to our Telegram. It's called Anti-Gravity Saga. And basically, we're coming up with this idea for a story for some NFTs. So people think that they're just stumbling into this NFT project, but it goes way deeper. And so we came up with a whole storyline that we started using ChatGPT and AI. So we're using AI to write a story. We're using AI to come up with some of the art for the NFTs. And it's kind of, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've seen that I saw you post that on the Telegram, and I saw the ideas that you were doing with all that as well. Love the pictures that were already coming out with the like Mid-Journey and everything else that you had going on, and you have other people in the community actually sending that information. Like, incredible, man. Incredible.
It is incredible. We have,
say that name one more time for the Telegram.
If you guys look up Anti-Gravity Saga, it's got a crazy link that I can probably find and put in here. I'll try to put it in the chat if I can find it here. But basically, you join this, and it's just us going through the artwork and going through the storyline. And eventually, hopefully by Q3, I'll be launching my product. And a lot of people, like I said, are just going to think it's they're going to think that it's an NFT, right? Something where you're gambling on JPEGs, but it's actually got some other shit that I've put into it. And so I actually hired an author because the story was getting so good that I was like, dude, this could be a book.
Right.
And so I hired an author, and he shot me. He's like, oh, I'll write you a book for this much. And I mean, I'm helping him with it, but mostly he's doing the writing. And I said, okay, cool. And then my wife is later. She's like, wait a second. What are you doing? Who's this dude? I was like, oh, that's my author. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, oh yeah, I hired him to write a book.
Love you.
She's like, how much are you paying him? And I'm like, oh, this much. And she's like, did you negotiate? Did you
nope.
Did you like? And I'm like, nope. I just gave him money and a hug. That's what I do. I just give away money and hugs to get things done. And she was like, next time you have any of these meetings, just let me be in the room. Just let me sit there and steer these conversations you have, you idiot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm probably overpaying, but no. I mean, this is just like one instance of her being like, what are you doing, Max?
Right. And yet she still lets you do it, and y'all still get along great, and that's how it definitely needs to be sometimes, and that's what it is. So I absolutely love it.
We make an amazing team. Amazing team.
So let's come back. I want to get back to a crazy question here. What is probably one of the most absurd crypto related concepts you've ever come across? And
bananas.
And what do you think of it?
Banana coin.
Okay.
Banana coin. This was like before the right after the 2017 spike.
Right.
And these guys said, we're going to track bananas on the blockchain so you know where your bananas are coming from. And they raised something like $300 million.
Oh, shit.
Now, spoiler alert, they took that money and left and disappeared. And no one ever saw Banana Coin because it's a stupid idea. And it's almost impossible to track bananas on the blockchain with our current oracles. And I just remember, I think about that every day. I'm like, these guys came up with a white paper, a website, and they're probably still doing blow off of hookers in the Bahamas on that money that they made years ago.
God, and just imagine they took just like a 10 mil of that and staked it in Hex.
Yeah, they very well could be a couple sharks that are like, man, this is sweet. We need to come up with another Banana 2 coin or Mango coin or whatever the hell. I don't know.
No, he went out.
Yeah, I remember hearing that and I was like, jeez. Crazy.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a ridiculous sounding concept, and it literally goes to show that people are gonna FOMO into anything. I mean, that's why I like crypto in general. If you're just trying to get someone onboarded into crypto, one, pain in the ass, like you said, when it comes to the onboarding process of centralized exchange into the decentralized world. It is a brutal process, and in order to set someone up correctly, you really do have to do exactly what you're talking about. Sit down, have the 4 hours with them, explain perks, benefits, what it is. If you really the way I do it, if you really want someone to have a good chance in this world of crypto, that's what you got to do. And so I kind of ended up in that same boat as you, where I onboarded so many people, and I felt like I had like such responsibility to share how to properly secure their money and get it off centralized exchanges, and and how to do it properly. Don't hold seed words on photos. Don't hold them in your notes. Like, you know what I mean? Just simple stuff that is simple to us now. But when you're going through someone who's never been in a proper, true DeFi crypto, it is a pain in the arse, dude. It is such a pain in the butt to even just go through that. So let me see, what advice would you actually give to someone right now who's just now starting in the world of crypto, right? Like we said, it is a pain in the ass to get started, but what advice would you give to someone?
I would tell somebody to get a wallet and get some crypto. Either buy some crypto from a friend that already has an exchange, or if you can get on an exchange quickly and get it through your card or something, get some crypto, put it in a wallet, and stake some hex. I would tell them do that first before you, even if you don't know what you're doing and why you're doing it, just do that right there, and then go back and be like, okay, what did I do and why? And then tell them to start working with some exchanges so that they can take profits and get that money out in the future. So, start working with Coinbase or well, I would say Kraken, but they're not doing good right now.
They got their, everyone's got their own issues, man. That's what it's all about, right? That's why you don't keep the money on there for long. Just get in, get out.
Yeah, and then start watching YouTube. Just find someone on YouTube, find a Hexican on YouTube that speaks your language that you relate to, and just start listening, because every month that you spend on YouTube listening to these streams is like an associate's degree in college.
Wow.
And like 2 months is like a bachelor's, 3 months you're a doctorate. You literally are getting a doctorate's worth of information on YouTube right now on the most important technology that's going to hit during your lifetime,
right?
Which is crypto.
I love that. That's an awesome thing to say. Like, for real. A month is
like an associate. Every month of listening to streams is like 2 years in college.
I love that. That is, it's incredible that you say that, because like true DeFi, in order to learn it, is tough. But whenever you learn it correctly, it is incredible. And that is a great way of saying that. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. So you obviously had a crypto awakening moment, right? That was that moment in time where you were like, crypto is the way. Do you remember exactly what that moment was like, and like when you just had that eye-opening moment for yourself?
Yeah, I was trying to trade Forex, and I was following a dude named Alyssa Rattini. And I'm sure he's still out there in social media, but his name is Alyssa Rattini, and he would be like, hey, look at this setup here, look at this for trades. And when Bitcoin crashed from $1,000 to $150 in the 14 or 15 crash, it was a 13, 14. He said, now's the time to look at Bitcoin, because he'd already seen the cycle. Or as I call it, this is the cute word spikle, because it's a spike and a cycle together. You can put that on a t-shirt, I'll let you. So spikle we got going on. Yep. So he said, take a look at Bitcoin. And I'd heard the name Bitcoin before, but I didn't know what it was. Right. And so I started looking into it. And this is the time in my life where I was like super libertarian and, trying to figure out how to get freedom from the government. And I fell down the rabbit hole of all these voluntarists and anarchists. And they said Bitcoin is the way that we can get around the banks of the government. And when I realized that it could do that, or had the potential to really honestly change lives and change paradigms, I lost it. I fell all the way down the rabbit hole of cryptos back then. And it was, like I said, it was $150. I started buying it around 300. The first Bitcoin I bought was on eBay. I sent a dude $100 or $200. No, seriously, he was selling chunks of Bitcoin. So I sent him like $150 and with my phone number.
Yeah.
And I downloaded a wallet. So I sent him my wallet address. And back then, here's another deal. I'm an Android guy forever, because Apple wouldn't allow the wallets and the crypto stuff onto their apps. Back then, only Android would.
Right.
So there's like that was like a little nod to the future of Apple. But I sent him that. He called me on my phone, some dude. He says, "Hey, is this Max?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is Max." He goes, "All right," and he hangs up. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what just happened.
You're like, I just signed something I shouldn't have signed.
I know. I look at I pull up the app and boom, there's Bitcoin there.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. This is crazy. And I started playing Satoshi's Dice and all these gambling games they had back then. You know, where you're just like, you'd set it and it was just a random number generator, and I'd go up 10 Bitcoin and down 10 Bitcoin, and I was just having fun.
That was a different world back then. Are you gonna? So they have something similar to that with PulseChain. If you've seen like freepulse.io, you know.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Do you feel like you're gonna degen some? Do you feel like you might get into some degen habits again with that being available?
Well, there was a time in my life where I actually played blackjack for several years and made a part-time living playing blackjack.
Okay.
And and again, like this was like the dopamine hit, the rush, you know.
Right.
And unfortunately, like after going through crypto kind of ruins you, because you just see more mad gains and appreciation than you've ever seen in your life.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, it's like going to heroin and then trying to go back to sniffing Smarties with the kids at school. It just doesn't have its zing.
Shit. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
And so I like if I'm with my family on a cruise or in Vegas, we'll go play some blackjack or whatever.
Right.
But it just doesn't have that rush that it used to. So I don't know if I'm that crazy about the ones online. I do like the idea that you can be the house, right? Okay. So you can stake your money with the house or the casinos online, right. And it can be completely trustless and fair, and you know that you're not going to get screwed. And then, you know, you're making the house's interest or percentage off of the people that are. There's always going to be gamblers. Facts. There's always going to be degens.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just and just in general, that's what I'm almost trying to. You know, you got to still plan something, right? And I think having, you know, for some folks who have that in their system, you know, having a separate degen wallet's not a bad way to go, right? If you feel like you just gotta, if you feel like you gotta degen, I just personally think there's better ways to do it. Fortunately for me, I've never really been the gambler, right? That's one of those things. I don't. Crypto's gambling. Like, it fucking, don't get me wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I say it, and then like we're in the most risky fucking volatile thing that can go to zero within a second if you choose the wrong one. So I get that whenever I say this, but if I go to like say Vegas or something, I'm not sitting down at the table. It's because I've always found money to be like my motivating factor, and whenever I just see it go away, I get so sad. And whether it's like a positive or negative or whatever's going on, like that high, that dopamine hit that you're talking about, it doesn't last long enough, in my opinion, for me to do it. And I'm always one to chase bet, right? And so, like, you know, you got to know yourself, right? Like, I've learned myself, and I feel like I've learned to not chase bet anymore. But yeah, back in the day, dude, if I lost 100, I'm like, I got to fucking double down. We're getting that shit back. And then I lose 200, we're fucking getting that back. We're doubling down. You lose 1,000, you're like, all right, man, something's got to give at some point. I can't have bad luck forever. I'm doubling down again, right? And like that double down strategy only lasts for so long, and so I've had my own shares of moments, but I definitely think the freepulse.io, for those folks who don't know about it yet, is absolutely incredible. Definitely go check it out. It's going to be such an incredible tool to onboard someone into our ecosystem. Yeah, the mother-in-law is not subscribed to the channel. You were absolutely correct. She, the world of crypto was a vast, crazy concept to her, and then I tried getting her into Hex back whenever I first got in 2021. Like, I tried to get in everybody. I think that's what, like, you go through phases in Hex, I feel like, right? You have the, oh shit, I found the best thing ever. Oh shit, I need to tell everyone about it. Oh shit, I tell everyone about it, and you know, the price either goes up or down no matter what, but you still feel responsible and guilty for getting them in whenever they got in, and you're like, oh, well, just wait, I promise, it's okay. And so I tried doing the same thing with her. I explained it to her. I sat down with her. I had the same long phone calls, and you know, everything was like that. And then she ended up buying fucking Shiba. That was the, you know, I was like, I can't win, bro.
Everyone that I've onboarded went into Shiba later. Everyone I've onboarded has chased shiny objects.
Yeah.
And I'm just, the only thing that I can be like gives me peace is knowing that their stakes were set first. Their hex stakes were set first. So I know over time, you know, and if they get lucky with Shiba, if they get lucky with any pump and dump, I'm happy for them. I really am. Like, I wish everyone luck. I just know that the chances are really slim because you got to have your timing just right for a pump and dump. And there's 30,000 copies of pump and dump. So how are you going to know which one is the one that's going to pump and dump at the right time?
And man, dude, yeah. So she ended up getting into that, and you know, she still hasn't gotten into Hex, but that's a discussion for another day. Cause then she watched the price fall, you know, so she's into that, and then she's into Shiba, and then she watches Hex drop, you know, 95%. She's like, well, are you still good? Are y'all still okay? And, you know, she'll check in on me and my wife, and you know, she's a sweetheart when it comes to trying to make sure that her daughter's in the best hands, right? And I can't blame her for that. That's what mothers should do in the first place. But yeah, no, she ain't subscribed to the channel. If she would, then hopefully she would learn. But you know, that's something that comes with time, dude. When fucking Hex is $1, she's gonna be like, I want in, right? Tell me how to get in. And you know, I've learned. Bentley, it's okay. Sorry, my wife just put the pup in here. Bentley, come here. And so I've learned to stop chasing people to get into crypto. Guys, like whenever people want to get into crypto, they are going to come to you. Like that is, I don't know if you feel the same sentiment and you know had the same experience, but I felt that
that's how it works.
Yeah, every single time that I would try to be like, dude, you got to go check it out. Like, you know, do yourself a favor, at least do some research. Like you're already in, like put $100 in, do something, right? I feel like every single time I started with that little that path, that it would never really end the same way as someone else who's like, hey, you've had really good luck. Can you teach me how? And then you teach them, and then now they're fucking in it for life, and now they have a much better understanding. And so I felt that to be, for those folks who are, you know, maybe new to the ecosystem, guys, just know trying to like shill what we do is already tough. Getting into crypto is already crazy. But I find that if you can just be patient and just show off, you know, when the time comes, your own rewards and how it's changed your life and what it's done, they'll come to you, man. They will. Whether it's them getting in at a higher price, thanks for them. But yeah, definitely don't go and try to, you know, make it happen is what I would say in that regard.
All right. It's just people that are supposed to be there will show up.
So you talked about NFTs briefly with the Telegram, with the stories, and how that's going to benefit. What do you actually see the future of NFTs evolving into within the coming years?
I think that obviously the first NFTs are going to be smart contracts. So you have the HSI stakes through Hedron.
Right.
That's a beautiful use of an NFT. Okay. Because now you can move your stake from one wallet to another, which is great for security. It's great for selling it. Right. It's great for a lot of reasons. And then you have something like the What's a NFT, where it's this crazy game of chicken, right? Where all these piñatas are filling up with candy until you break them, right? And you want to be the last piñata standing. Those dudes are stubborn as hell. That's the craziest game of chicken I've ever played, because we had close to 22,000, I want to say, at the beginning. I think like 100 have been unwrapped or something like that. Like these are people that will drown before they lose an underwater staring contest. Like they are not, these dudes want the high score on this video game, and they're not, I don't think these coins are ever coming out, dude.
Oh shit, that's funny.
And watch what that does to the price of a Cosa.
Yeah.
Like that's silly. And so I think that's the NFTs are going to start off with smart contracts that can be wrapped in other smart contracts to produce yield and to pump up the price of the underlying asset. So I think that's where it starts. People like to talk about doing, real estate or insurance and things like this on the blockchain and doing NFTs for other, real life
So
goods.
that's actually where I saw it kind of going, where I saw that there could be some real benefits of NFTs. Was the fact of like contracts, right? Like whether it be real estate or whether it be an actual contract or, a legal binding document type deal. The pictures and JPEGs I don't see in lasting into the future. I just don't. But I do feel that there is potential for what could be. And I think Richard Hart's about to prove all that wrong when he forks over PulseChain and the fact that, they're all going to be doubled. And I don't know how that works, right? I'm not into that world per se. But do you think it's going to have an effect when PulseChain comes out?
Well, shout out to Sweaty in the chat here, who has some of the most insane videos I've ever seen. Check out Sweaty's videos for sure. For sure. But he says it's 422 watts have been burned, to be exact, right now. So there's well over 21,000 left that are still like playing games.
Right.
But I would say that we everything brings us back to the Oracle dilemma. How do you get accurate information from the physical world onto a blockchain, without a human error or a greedy human messing with it?
Yeah, it's just impossible.
I think it's going to be a combination of things. I think you're going to have some companies in real life that just have impeccable reputations and credibility, like really giant insurance companies or whoever it is that like. Their reputation's worth more to them than the money that they would make by screwing people.
Right.
And then I think it's also going to be just that, where proof of stake is, if you're running a validator or a node on a proof of stake network, you're risking $20,000-$30,000 for $100. Like that doesn't make sense. You got to have so much skin in the game that you are killing yourself to put the most accurate information onto the blockchain possible. And I think that it's going to be something like that, because that's how they solved the Byzantine General's problem with Bitcoin, right?
Right.
So for those of you that don't know what the Byzantine General's problem is when you're trusting everyone else to do the right thing or not screw each other, you basically have to have it so that you lose more than there is to gain. And the Byzantine General's problem back in the day was like, okay, so you're attacking a city and you have a bunch of generals around the city to attack it. If one general doesn't go through with the attack, you're screwed, right? And so you have to know that everyone's on the same page, just like you have to know that all the miners are on the same page when they're recording the blockchain and mining blocks. And so Satoshi said, okay, well, because you guys are spending so much time and effort and electricity and hardware to get these Bitcoin, it's going to cost you way more to screw over the system than it does to just be honest. And so I think it's going to be a lot of that going into fixing the Oracle problem. Oh my gosh, we got a celebrity in here. Do you see this? First we had Sweaty, and that made me a little bit sweaty. And now we got like a full-blown straight up artist.
Yes,
and a Hex celebrity chilling in our chat.
Sweaty giving some love right here. Definitely give Sweaty some love, y'all. Go check out the channel as well. We got Brissology in the house, folks. Absolute celeb. Institutions like Harvard and other schools can issue NFT diplomas and certifications, and the employers can then go back to check on the validity of them. Ooh, that is a fire fucking idea, Brissology. But again, that comes down to, like he said, someone's got to manually enter it, man. And like anytime that there's a human involved, man, that just adds that extra layer. But I absolutely love that idea. I don't think I've ever thought about an institution or even school issuing, say, diploma where it can truly be created in such a great way. That is, what a good point. And what a celebrity to come in through the stream. I think Brissology, you've been in one stream previously, but I'm thankful to being here again. This is your first time. Always a pleasure to have you in as well. And guys, go subscribe to myself. I'll show it real quick. Yes. Definitely do me a favor. Click the subscribe button down below. Click on HEXrayVision's description information down below. Give him a subscribe on his channel. All the links to his follows and streams are all down in the description below. So definitely give it all. Give us everyone some love, guys. We do this I do this every single day for y'all, but we do this for y'all.
Hey, I don't know how much time you've got left, but let's incentivize these people to not just subscribe to your channel, but share and get other people to subscribe to your channel. I've been running a crypto scavenger hunt lately where there's some money that just happens to be in some wallet out there, and I start dropping the seed words to this wallet, which is something you should never do. You should never share your seed words, but I am sharing these seed words every time a member of our community hits a goal. So for instance, I noticed you're under 1,000 subs, which is insane to me. I can't believe that you're not already at like 4,000 or 5,000 subs, even in a bear market, because you're bringing some really good content here.
Appreciate
I mean that,
man. Really do.
So
appreciate it.
let's say this: when your stream and gets up to 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna drop a seed word to the scavenger hunt. So right now, if you go to my website, HEXrayVisionCrypto.com, click on scavenger hunt, and it'll have a list of all the goals that people in our community are working on. So we're going to add ATX to that. What do you say, 1,000 subs?
Yep, 1,000 subs is the goal.
Okay.
And let me pull that up real fast on the stream myself so I can get that done. Give me 1 second while I can show y'all as well.
And that needs to be updated because that's the old one. Someone already walked with 100 USD. They cracked that son of a bitch right open as soon as we had the 12 words. They weren't even in order, and someone cracked it. They went through the 109. Right? There's 197 or 179 million possibilities. Someone ran a script and cracked that sucker, ran off with the $100. So right now there is a new contract address, a MetaMask address that's got $200 in it. And so I'll be updating that, but there's $200 sitting in there and a little bit of gas for you to move it. And so far we've already released the word neglect and the word tribe.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, let's get a little crazy here. Let's reveal another word that only the people in this chat even know about right now.
So I'm on the scavenger hunt page right now. I got HEXrayVisionCrypto.com/scav for those folks who are wanting to check this out yourself. It's showing on the screen as well. It says unlock the special words as it goes. Is this the wallet address that you're currently on right now?
That's the old one. That one needs to be
cool.
That one needs to be updated. But I'm telling you, if you watch my more recent streams now, I've been showing the new address.
Cool.
And I'm gonna update that very soon.
That was the one that got figured out already.
That's the one that someone already walked with. They walked. That thing is empty as hell. Yep. There's like 42 cents of dust left in that sun. So we got. I just barely put the third word in your chat because I feel like you and me have so much in common.
And
we're working towards the same goals.
Bam.
The word is same. So now there are 3 words up there, and as you notice, it went from $100 to $200. Wouldn't it be crazy if the next one was like $500? And then wouldn't it be crazier if the next one was $1,000? Like, I'm just saying, things could get crazy because there's so many goals there. There's way more than 12 goals.
Yep.
And so let's punch a bear in the throat. Let's support each other. Let's get this momentum going.
Let's do it.
And help each other and grow and get that money. And someone's gonna walk. Someone's gonna walk with the $200 and a lot more in the future, I'm guessing. Just a little hint.
Sharing the link right here, HEXrayVisionCrypto.com. Definitely check out that link as well.
Exclusive content. Right
Agenda 69, love it. This is exclusive content for sure. This is the exclusive release right now, guys. We just got the third word live on this stream. So for those folks, dude, that is so much love right there. So amazing. It's just incredible that we come out with all these ideas. And did you come out with this idea yourself? Obviously, you and your wife, I'm sure, probably thought about it and kind of went back and forth. But like, I keep trying to figure out possibly like how to do a giveaway myself, and like what could a giveaway look like. And like, I know Fashion Coder just released her 10,000 hex giveaway for her 1-year release. Congrats to that. She's doing that on February 16th. I think it ends. Y'all can go check that out as well. But you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many giveaways that are there, and I've been trying to figure out like what to possibly do with my channel. I haven't figured out something yet at this point in time. But I'm loving the giveaway that you have going on right now.
You just gave me a crazy idea. Why don't we just make this scavenger hunt across all the people involved? Why don't we just have everybody do the same scavenger hunt, right?
Yeah, I
Because
like
I've
it.
got
That
a
way it kind of like,
almost
gets people more involved with each other, and it actually like connects a full network, you mean? Like to where, it's not just coming from one source per se. It's like you actually almost have to be a part of, multiple sources. Oh shit. Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I
Because
see it.
I'm happy to share these seed words with you guys.
Right, right,
Because
right.
I know that you guys are more interested in growing the community than $200
Yeah,
or even
exactly.
$1,000.
Yeah, I don't
And
think that's gonna
so what
change
I
our
should
lives.
do is I need to reach out to all the people on this list and just tell them, hey, this isn't my scavenger hunt. This is our scavenger hunt.
I like that. Make a
And
little
if you guys
private
and if you
telegram
want to
with us.
if someone wants to throw $50 into that wallet,
Oh shit.
you know what I'm saying? We can get this up to some silly numbers because
Yeah.
eventually what I'm going to do is I'm trying to gain as much of a community and get as much attention towards our community as possible. And eventually I'm going to be giving away the most valuable tokens and NFTs in my project away
Love it.
in
Love it.
the next one as we hit to that point. Like
Let's
Q3 is what
go.
I'm thinking of this year when I get
Absolutely.
the code written and audited.
Let's go, man. I love that
So
idea.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
why am I
Telegram's a big one that I think all of us are, for the most part, probably already on Telegram. We just need to make a little community in there, call it like HEXray Scavenger Hunt or whatever the case may be, and like you said, just throw in all of us in there, and that could be an absolute banger. And then like maybe once a week on Friday or whatever the case may be, we just have some sort of schedule. We'll figure that out. We can get into the details later. we don't we don't want to give away everything right here right now, guys. We got to keep some information, close to the chest. But Hex Farmer right here,
really really good idea
it.
of starting another group. Although I will need someone better at Telegram than me because I didn't know how to run my anti-gravity Telegram, and Red Squirrel went in there and changed the name to Red Squirrel Saga. And he's like, they're all messing with my chat. I'm like, I don't even know how to run this thing. So
yeah, I'm sure we can get someone in there because I don't know that myself as well, right? Like we're all in Telegram. That's where we get a lot of news from and a lot of information from. But yeah, there's definitely someone in, but we'll figure that out. We'll definitely make it happen. Cause like I created my own Discord and then I had to learn all the ups and downs of Discord and figuring that out. And you get access through the Patreon link down below with the Discord, and you can actually get that. But that was a whole different thing too. I was like, oh my god, like the people who joined my Patreon didn't actually get access to my Discord right away, and so I'm in the same boat as you. I don't want that responsibility, but I definitely am always open to an idea. I know Randy Olarski is big on trying to get the group together as well. I've had him on the stream, and we've had a couple interactions outside where we talk to each other, and we have just building, like you said, building an ecosystem that just brings people into our community is incredible, because I think we have probably the freaking strongest community in all of crypto. And guys, I don't say that lightly.
Yeah, and I see Hex Farmer in chat says he loves the idea. Hex Farmer, I'm still thinking about our argument that we had in Vegas where you told me that Pulse was not going to crash on launch. I still think that the price is going to dip pretty heavy on launch because of how desperate everyone is to get their hands on their coins and get on their money. But I'm looking forward to continuing that conversation with you, Hex Farmer. Yeah, he's a smart dude.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. He's been coming through the chat, and what's funny with that, fuck it, might as well just talk about some PulseChain, right? Since we're here, let me let my dog out real quick out of the room just so he doesn't cry, and I'll be right back myself. 2 seconds.
But
all right, you're free, you made it. All right, Jesus. She closed them in just so that way she could do the quick, because we have a boarding train here as well. So like I said, it's a fucking zoo. Oh my gosh, you put the goddamn suitcases up? 1 second. Oh. Did she block you in? Sorry, man. All right. And we're back. All right, so let us talk real quick about PulseChain launch, my friend. I have my ideas, you have your ideas. I am more curious on yours. You've mentioned that you think the price is going to dip. Do you think that price dips below sacrifice price?
Nope.
Love it.
Nope.
Right from the jump. Love that answer. Because I'm in the same boat, so back to that third seed word, by the way, for guys, everyone who may have missed that, or HEXrayVision just dropped the third seed word to the scavenger hunt. So right on up here, right here, to those folks who want to check it out, it's on screen. Definitely check it out. It is the same. So I actually have the same concept and mindset as well. I do not see it dropping below sacrifice price. What do you see it launching at? And how far does it drop?
Well, I think that if you just look at, if we study Ethereum, so Ethereum was open to some VCs back in the day. The VCs were picking it up for like 3 cents. So they're like dumping half a mil, a few mil, whatever, and they were getting Ethereum at 3 cents. It launched, and I'm totally wrong on all this stuff, but I think it launched somewhere like $3 or something crazy like that.
Right.
And then it crashed down to like 15 cents.
Right.
So if you were sitting there and you gobbled it up at 15 cents, yeah, you did pretty good. In fact, if you gobbled it up in the first 6 months or year of Ethereum, you did amazing.
And held on to it, right?
Yeah.
You can gobble it up all you want, but you got to hold on to that sucker too.
Yeah. Now, because we're in Hex and all of these numbers are ridiculous and don't make sense to normal people, 38% APY does not make sense to anybody in the legacy finance. So let's be conservative. Cut everything that Ethereum did in half. Okay. So instead of it going up 4 million%, let's say it goes up 2 million% in the next 2 spikes. And now think about what you put into it. Right. So think about your sacrifice, times it by 2 million%, and think that could happen by the 28-29 spike.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, there's too many commas in your head right now. I guarantee if you're doing this math, if you got your calculator off, you're like, that's bullshit. That's not a real number at all.
Oh shit! Yeah, dude. You say some of those numbers out loud, and you're like, what? Folks, I was so blessed to be able to be a part of that whole ecosystem and sacrifice and everything. And to those folks who are crying and complaining that it hasn't launched yet, like, I get it. I get the complaints of why it's not launched, but you got to understand, dude. We're gonna launch something that's gonna be freaking so perfect and flawless. That's gonna be amazing. That you can have so much trust about. And like I have so much faith that, like, you know, this shit's here to stay. It's not gonna have issues when it launches. It's not gonna be another Binance Smart Chain. But fuck, even then, that has clearly proven that it really doesn't matter too much because people are still buying in. So I actually have a little spreadsheet right here that I keep track of, and what it does is it shows the price prediction model based on what Cryptographics put in his tweet, and actually broke down the math. And then I created a whole spreadsheet that actually made it live data implemented in the spreadsheet as well. So what this is showing, and it's gone anywhere between as high as 14 cents, 14 and a half, or I say 14 cents, that'd be wild. 0.0014, which would be a 14x. And now it's actually currently today at today's hex price sitting at 4.6 cents, with today's ETH price sitting at 1,500. All this data is all pulled in, and it says that right now we have launched sitting at about 12.8x from sacrifice price, because if you're just counting the 0.0001, right, that's what I'm going off of whenever I say sac price. What do you think about something like this? Do you see it launching, doing a 12x, and then dipping and doing that 95% drop, like you said, still being above sacrifice, of course, but, you know, sitting somewhere in the ballpark of, you know, maybe 0.0012 and just being like a 2x above sac price type deal? Or what do you think about this?
You know, that's really hard to tell, because a lot of it's going to have to do with where we're at in the cycle, right? So if we're on our way up, if we're ramping up to the next spike, that's going to change a lot. And if we do it here at the bottom, you know, in the doldrums, I think we got 3 to 6 months of the bottom left. So I think
Right.
if you're DCAing in the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to get stupid, amazing prices on Hex and Maxi and all the stuff in the ecosystem. So
Right.
it kind of depends on that. But then again, I mean, we sacked when we were balling.
Right. Yeah. Facts.
So,
Dude,
so like,
I'm so blessed to be able to have sacrificed the amount that I did, because like if you look now and you're like, oh, dude, I wouldn't have. it would have been so little. There's no way I would have put that much money into the sacrifice now if that was to launch today. There's just zero chance.
Right.
And so
and see,
yeah,
I've got.
balling.
I'm looking at hope. If I'm lucky, I get to launch my project around like July, August, and I think that Pulse is going to come out before then. I don't think I'm going to be Pulse to market with my project.
That's okay.
So I'm planning on jumping on Pulse with my project.
Perfect.
Or launching
Love
on Pulse. So if that happens, then that's great. That's the best place to launch anything, because you're at the bottom, right? I think my sacrifice is probably going to bring in maybe $53. It'll probably be for my grandma, because everyone will be broke as hell at the very bottom of the market. Everyone will have already ate back into Hex and stuff. So yeah, if you sacrifice $10 for my project, you'll probably be one of the whales. But no, joking aside, that's kind of where that is let's see, Ethereum launched, I want to say they launched after the $30 to $3 crash of Bitcoin.
Right.
I could be wrong. No, because everyone was talking about buying up Ethereum when I was getting into Bitcoin in 15, the beginning of 15. So it was like January, February, March. I'd be listening to people and they'd be like talking about Ethereum, and I'd be like, shut up, I don't care about Ethereum. I'm trying to figure out Bitcoin first. Had I bought some Ethereum back then, I would have been balling. But yeah, I think that it also launched kind of at the bottom, one of those spikes.
Well, I mean, especially just because you've held on, like you said, guys. That's such a hard thing to do. Sudden wealth syndrome is going to be real. Matty Allen talks about it all the time, and or maybe not preaches about it so much anymore. But I think once it definitely launches, we're going to see a lot of folks bring that up again, for good reason. Because if you go from what is $1,000 to $100,000, guys, that's a very big difference for a lot. Your mental mindset, you have to be ready for that kind of gain. And if you just multiply that even by 10 and it goes from 10,000 to 1,000,000, then it's one of those mindset things that you have to truly be ready for, because it is very freaking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. To see the wealth that can happen, and then to still be on a level head and not think that you're the greatest person alive type deal, and that you can just do anything, or like you said, you just spend money and you just toss it like away at everything. It's an incredible thing to have, and an incredible opportunity. So we're very blessed. I know I'm fortunate there. So thank you on the Pulse price prediction amount. I actually wanted to give a shout out. This is another celebrity. We have Randy's mom in here, Miss Diehard Hexakin. What a fun adventure to keep us busy until launch. Hello. Absolute celeb. She is in, obviously, of course, every one of Randy's streams. This is the first time having her on mine. Yeah, so thank you for coming through and joining the stream. An absolute blast seeing everyone in here. PulseChain is up. Yeah, Hex Farmer says PulseChain up. Gabriel's asking, what about PLSX? So we got your thoughts on Pulse, and what are your thoughts on PulseX?
Well, I imagine that we kind of have to look at Uni for that one, right? Or Pancake Swap, or some of those tokens for the exchanges, to kind of get an idea of what those are capable of.
Yep.
I mean, Uniswap's done pretty dang good, considering it does nothing unless you're like, unless you own an insane amount and you're part of the group. You're not going to use it for votes. Right. I mean, it just sits there, and it's made us a ton of money. The airdrop, I'm not complaining at all, but imagine if the Uni token was deflationary. Like
game
that's
changer. Instantly. That tokenomic alone is a
crazy
instant game changer.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying, PulseX is going to go up a lot faster in the beginning, because there's so much volume and activity that's going to go on with PulseX and Pulse. People are trading and bridging and doing all this crazy stuff. So that's going to definitely like pump up the price of PulseX, I think, in the beginning. And but then over time it should kind of like level out, and you're definitely going to have a way to stake it. Everything is stakeable now. Like that, we'll never go back to a world where you can't stake a coin,
right?
Or else people just won't. They'll be like, what's this any good?
Yeah, why
for?
do I
Right?
have this coin? Yeah, I can go stake and earn more, and you know, with
it's
that
like
coin.
Yeah, it's like a phone that's connected to the wall by a cord. It's like, why are we going back to that shit?
Dude, I can't even remember the last time I had a landline.
Do you remember like the first cordless phone you had in your house? And you're like, dude, I can walk all over the place.
That was incredible.
This is great.
Fucking, but then you'd have your family hopping on the call with you as well, and all them bitches would just be fucking, I'm in the room with you. Ha ha, I hear your conversation. You're like, get off the phone, Billy. Whatever it was, right? Oh shit, dude, that was a game changer. Yeah, that was a different time, right? That's just, but I love that example because, you know, I think that's something that a lot of folks don't really know about with PulseX, and I'll give my 2 cents on it. But with PulseX is like with DEXs, we don't really have a lot of information on, unfortunately, right? Like you look at it, I think the first DEX was introduced in 2018, and at that point in time, there had already been, you know, crypto's already been a thing for a long time. So, and again, they don't really have the same tokenomics. Like you said, Uniswap was really the first one that kind of got big with it. But, you know, again, what use case does it have besides like a voting protocol, and you have to own so much and all these things. So like I think PulseX is going to blow people's minds away. That's a play that I think it's the rabbit in the hare scenario where the Pulse is gonna freaking just do some stupid shit real fast and just, you know, melt faces, I say, and then PulseX is gonna be the little hare or turtle in the back, or the rabbit and turtle, hare and the turtle, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying. But
tortoise in the hare. I was literally thinking the same thing as you were saying that. the same analogy.
Yeah, and so literally it comes back to, you know, it's gonna be Pulse is gonna melt faces right from the jump. Get ready, because again, like, you know, while it's gonna be very volatile, people are gonna be getting in, it's gonna be dumping. I think it can do some amazing things if you just hold it, even for just freaking 2 to 3 years. And not, if you did nothing but just hold all 4 tokens, by the way, folks, let me just say this. Just to be real clear, me or HEXrayVision is not a financial advisor. We don't offer financial advice. We can't do that. But we can share our thoughts on what's coming in the future. And guys, if you just get a fucking piece of each one, Hex on Ethereum, Hex on PulseChain, PulseX, and PulseChain, and then you just wait and hodl them suckers, like, yeah, I think we all win. Yeah. So let's just be real about all this. It's incredible. But don't try to play one over the other. That's going to be my recommendation. Don't think you need to get into, like, you know, 90% Pulse when it launches and only have 10% PulseX. I think that's playing it backwards, and you're trying to play a game that you don't want to be trying to learn. That's my thoughts. I would say you probably want to end up being like 50-50, you know, or should I say 25-25-25-25, right? But that's just kind of...
we have this opportunity to be the house.
Right.
Like, you used to have to bet on something. You have to bet on an NFL team, right? Oh, I'm going to bet on this team. I'm going to bet on this team. Why not just buy stock in the NFL? And then it doesn't matter who wins the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter who's selling jerseys, because you're getting a piece of everything. Yeah. So we have an opportunity to own the financial system of the future. Yep. This is... yeah, that's why it's like, yeah, tortoise or hare, shit, I'll take both. I'll buy the whole like racetrack. I'll buy the racetrack, I'll buy the concession stands, I'll buy the parking lot. And then you just sit back and let the degens come in and gamble.
And we're gonna have it all. And so guys, I'm so excited for like I'm like literally mind blown.
You do know about the no shade toe pulse chain, right? I think
I do. I was gonna try to do something similar. My wife actually told me to immediately cut it real fast, because I don't grow a beard so well, you know what I mean? I still got the little patchy and stuff, and so I tried growing it out. I did it for probably about 8 months, and then she was like, get rid of it, right? She's like, I don't like kissing, you know, she doesn't like the beard and kiss and stuff. I was just like, oh, I still want to be loved, so I fucking shaved it all down, you know.
I'm still into human touch, I guess. I guess.
So it's,
Crypto
but
Freedom
I
was
do think
asking.
I
Okay.
may join the party with you. You said that once PulseChain launches, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go and shave, and you're
Shave.
gonna do it until 1000x.
1000x. So
1000x.
we're gonna grow out till 1000x.
I may end up joining that party with you because we'll see, but it's just again because like whenever the wife's happy, like dude, you have to imagine, guys, the money that's gonna be made on PulseChain is going to allow me to be able to grow a beard. Like let's just say that, like, like she ain't gonna be complaining about it at that point in time. It'll just be like I'm doing this for the cause, right? And so. Yeah, so absolutely. Crypto Freedom says, did you say 2,000,000% PLS? How long after launch? So he was talking about 2 cycles.
Yeah. Well, as you were saying before, this isn't financial advice. I want everyone to know I'm wrong about every prediction I've ever made in life. No, seriously, I'm the Jim Cramer of crypto. I'm like, this is definitely going to happen next month. It will definitely not happen next month. I am the worst. I've just been around long enough to make up for being wrong about everything. So stick in the game. Stick in the game.
Yeah.
But let's say I'm anywhere close with Pulse. Pulse launches in the next 3 or 6 months before my stuff comes out. You got this spike 24, 25, and then even if the spikes get longer and longer like they have been, let's say instead of 28, 29, let's say 2030, right? So that's 7 years. So you're looking at, I think it's conservative to say you might make 2,000,000% in 7 years.
Wow. And I can't disagree with that. I mean, I really, why would I want to disagree with that, first of all? But like, I don't see a problem with that statement because I mean, you looking at just the easy math on it, it was talking about a simple 4,000x in about 3.5 years on average is what it's done for layer ones. And this is just an average. That's why I can say it, because again, just looking at data, it's done an average of 4,000x in 3.5 years. That's pretty freaking solid. And then you just imagine the network, the community that we have, and then the actual fact that we have such an amazing founder who's not going to probably be dumping on everyone's head. Like, who really, I can't say that for certain, but I mean, he hasn't done it yet. So, I mean,
let me say this. I don't want to, I'm not going to let anything out of the bag I shouldn't say, but
of course,
when you are a founder of a coin, there's a lot of different ways to print money out of thin air. Okay. So people are seeing stuff like a sacrifice or the adoption amplifier or a bunch of things. You know, they're seeing the OA, right?
Yep.
That alone is more money than Richard Hart really ever wants in his life. He doesn't want money. He wants respect. He wants recognition. Right. There's 3 or 4 other ways when you found a coin to print money out of thin air. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say Richard Hart has probably got piles and piles of money you don't even understand because you haven't founded a coin, that he's most likely is balling on that money, let alone any of the other stuff that you understand.
I mean, he's also, you talked about it, you know, he was mining 50 Bitcoin blocks back in the day. He was in Ethereum, you know, not early, but early enough, in my opinion. If he got the mindset to delay gratification and he's able to actually implement that, then yeah, I think he's doing pretty fine without even talking about his own coin, let alone the benefits you can have being the developer and a founder of a coin as well. So let's see right here. We got Hex Farmers. Well, I like this one. I would be under a bridge before selling my Pulse below $1.
Shout out to the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Fucking take out some profits, guys. Like don't end up in that situation. You know, learn to take profits. Profits is okay, I promise. The main thing about Pulse borrowing is not selling. Now we can borrow on PulseX. Yeah, you can borrow for both with Liquid Loans and Power City. So they're both gonna have their own stable coin coming, and I'm excited for that.
Borrowing using your crypto as collateral is a much bigger deal than people understand right now. Much bigger. I've taken profits in crypto and I've been taken back to the woodshed by the tax man. Like I have this family in America. They are not willing to change their names and fake their deaths. That was my plan when I was going to get super rich. I was like, okay, we're changing our names, we're faking our death, we show up in another country.
Facts.
And they were like, I want to go to school, I don't want to leave my friends. And I'm like, you guys are such pussies. Listen, we're not paying taxes. Okay, so we end up paying taxes, lots of taxes.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Yep. So much.
The rich people never sell their stocks. They never sell their stuff. They
Yeah.
get a loan, a collateralized loan,
Yeah.
and they buy a cash flowing asset that pays back the loan for them, and they pay no taxes. When
Yep.
we can do this with crypto, the whole game changes. It's like adding an X to your X's, right?
Yeah.
You know,
It
2000X.
is.
Well, now because of the tax laws and strategies, now that's a 3X on top of your 2000X.
And that's you know, thing. It's so simple too, in my opinion. It's like such an obvious thing, but it's that same scenario where it's you trying to explain to someone what hex is. You know, people are gonna get it right away, and some people just won't be able to grasp it. And so, you know, definitely it's up to us, the social media influencers, if you will, to try to convey that with as many people as we can. But Diehard Xkin actually says, when is your SAC going to be? She'd be interested in saving for it. I think you had mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, around.
If we stay on track, we might be doing our SAC around May, June.
Okay.
And then that would give us 60 days, 30 days for free claims and all that stuff that people usually do before launch.
Love it. Awesome. Yep. Love seeing you live. I appreciate you both so much. Dude, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Much love. Seriously. I definitely agree with that. Yep. I got to say, I agree with a lot of stuff HEXrayVision's saying. I think me and him are seeing eye to eye on so many things. It's not even funny. Because there's some times where you have the contrarian view where you're like, you know, especially with our PulseChain ecosystem, people are like, oh, we're dipping below SAC and we're never going to see SAC price for a year. And, you know, you have other people saying like, you know, we're going to dip below there for the first 90 days. And who knows, right? Until the time actually launches. But yeah, I mean, so far from what he said, I agree with all of it.
Didn't we get 10,000 per dollar plus bonus?
Yep.
I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah, it was 10,000 points per dollar.
It was
and
2
then
years
plus
ago,
your-
so shit.
Well, dude, I stay up to date on all that, man. I built all these fucking spreadsheets of like when to do it and how much I would get, and dude, I have this little spreadsheet still to this day that actually shows how much people are still sacrificing for PulseChain. Can you believe it? So I was like, what points are you getting right now? And I did the math, and it was like for $7,000 you got like 0.03 points or something like that. It was a absolute terrible return of money.
It will probably dip below their price. I want to say that. Like, those guys might see the dip go below their price. Okay.
Yeah, whenever we talk about going below SAC, I'm talking about the actual SAC phase. You know, the 19 days, the actual 19 days that it lasted for, not the year and a half later people still sacking. Thanks ATX Crypto. I got my matcha limit order set for Hex from 1.9 cents all the way down to 0.005 cents, just in case Ethereum flushes to 300 real quick. Dude, that is incredible. Yeah, limit orders, folks. Limit orders are the way to go.
I've had my best luck with CowSwap.
Yep.
CowSwap is the only place where my orders were filled at all.
Yep.
Matcha and the other one, 1inch.
1inch, yep.
They charged me to set and cancel those orders, and they were never hit, even though the price would hit on other charts. So I'm a big fan of the CowSwaps where I've been setting mine.
I also
and
use
you don't
CowSwap
need
as
Ethereum
well.
at CowSwap.
Yeah, it pays your gas fees. Man, my dude, yeah, dude, like, we agree on so many things. But yeah, I use CowSwap myself for all my limit orders because not only that, you know, you can actually kick it out to like 6 months in the future. And so you can literally set a limit order and forget it and then just be like, oh shit, the price went down low. I wonder if I got more. Oh, I did get more because it was set and forget it. So love that. So I guess I got a couple of final questions and then we'll wrap it up, man. This has been an absolute banger of a show. First of all, thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in, joined the stream with us. Cause I mean, I had probably set up about 40 questions just to make sure that, you know, we get everything filled. And I think so far I only have 6 questions checked on my fucking list.
Dude, when on earth have Hexkins ran out of stuff to talk about? Like, ever. We will talk until our voices go out. We'll talk until they're closing the bar that we're hanging out at. We are,
and then you just move to the next bar.
Yeah, we'll be out in the street.
Oh shit! So let me ask this then. With all this talks about cryptocurrencies, people's views, what is the actual biggest misconception about crypto that you find?
The biggest misconception about crypto is that anyone knows what the hell it is. You go back to the internet, beginning of the internet. Everyone thought they knew what the internet was when it came out.
Yep.
The first thing was everyone said everyone's gonna buy stuff on the internet, and so we had that big crazy .com bust, right? And all of the HTML websites were hard to use. It wasn't safe to put your credit card on half of those sites. Like we didn't know that we couldn't envision. Some people, a few crazy people pictured Amazon, Netflix,
right. And they were called loonies back then too. They were fucking straight crazy.
Yeah, and they were picturing email, that your grandma could actually send an email is insane. No one thought that was possible at the beginning of the internet because no one understood it at all.
Right.
So people think they know what crypto is. We have no idea what crypto is. Crypto right now is right during that crazy .com bust where everyone's trying to sell dog food and hair ties on the internet with hairties.com.
Yep.
And the reason that crypto's growing slower and the UI is growing slower than the internet is because we're swimming upstream against banks and government. And if there's one thing middlemen hate is to quit getting their D sucked, right? Like they're not going to go lightly. That's why they hate
Hex, man. That's lightly. That's why Hex is so hated right now from these entities, right? Because it's like you literally remove middleman.
Well, and I this whole thing coming out about like, you can't stake. Retailers aren't allowed to stake. It's like, I'm sorry, what? What? It's like, you guys understand that this is math. Yeah, they're like, you guys can't solve this equation. It's illegal for you to solve this equation on a computer because we don't want you to. Ridiculous.
Facts on facts. I'm gonna ask two questions in one because this is actually a fun one here, but like going back in time, assuming time travel is a real thing and someone creates it and you can actually use it at one point in time, and you're like, I'm gonna go back in time and give myself what advice when you first started the world of crypto? What would you say to yourself? And also, with that said, there was a failed crypto trade at some point in time when you had that happen. What did you learn from that as well?
Yeah, I think if I had to go back and give myself some crypto advice, it would be worry more about understanding crypto than buying the crypto. Like I was so worried about getting this many of this coin and this many sats, and if I told myself, no, just focus. What you're learning is going to be worth way more than those coins.
Love that.
And then the biggest mistake was I fell for like the social justice kind of narrative where back in the day there were people that were copying Hex and copying other things, and they're like, oh, we're gonna bring wells to Africa, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, or Richard Hart's a mean man, and if you want a Hex that doesn't have the OA, join our group. And what I found out very quickly was that snowflakes are broke ass MFers, and they don't know anything about people in business.
Oh shit.
And so there's a lot of people, I'll call them out, like Charles Hoskinson could not run a hot dog stand on a gay beach. He knows nothing about people or business. He got lucky.
Oh shit.
Because Vitalik, him, even Dan Larimer, who I think is a smart dude, those three dudes were in the right place at the right time, and they got so rich and so wealthy they thought that they were business geniuses. But you know who was the genius? It was Richard Hart. Richard Hart started with the people in the business selling stereo equipment out of his front lawn to G's in Florida, and starting websites and doing affiliate marketing and understand, okay, this works, this doesn't work, this works, and then he came on to crypto later. And
so he already had the business down, the business mindset down, how to run it correctly.
Don't fall for nerds and don't fall for sentiment in crypto. That's where I've lost more money than anywhere else, is thinking that people's opinions mattered.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are falling for that to this day with what the new project is, with that good old xenophobia nonsense that a lot of folks are joining into that little same metric, and I'll say it right here because, I had thought, he came into the community, introduced himself, and we're talking about Jack Levin, just so there's no curiosity or question about who I'm mentioning. I don't have any issues saying it. But, he came through the community, and I had strong faith that, like, this dude's pretty smart, right? It's like you said, it's a smart dude, and I liked what he was talking about. And so whenever he first did it, it was that same thing. You learn in your first cycle and you earn in your second. And what I've learned in this one so far is, like he said, the smart people are, coming through, and they're going to say what they basically need to say in order to get you to get invested in their project. But it doesn't mean they actually have a good business mindset and how to actually run it. And, yeah, I mean, Richard Hart was right, man. That's a slogan for our community for a reason, because the dude continues to fucking be right, man. Like, it's so tough to argue with him when he literally has just done everything so good. And so, big fan. I like that you pointed that out.
That's a perfect example of someone who's really smart, but does not understand business or markets.
Yeah, and that's what I pointed back to today's day. What do we have going on right now today, right? And that's what I see available, in my opinion, at this point in time. So we got Hex Farmers saying Hex is awesome, but Hex T-shares are the GOAT. Hedron buys real Hex T-shares. Stake Dicosa yields Hedron to buy real Hex T-shares. So so the whole mentality of like a one coin, the maximalism as it once used to be with Hex kind of went out the window when Hedron came around, in my opinion. Because if you aren't taking advantage of Hedron with your stakes, and you're already messing up, in my opinion, because it's already like, it's here. If you're staked, you might, like, personally, I would say you might as well go earn yourself some Hedron for staking, and then you can convert that into more Hex or do whatever you want with it, right? Because you get that every single day. But, like, so that idea of, like, the one coin, when Hedron came around, really started opening my eyes. And then now we're going to have PulseChain, PulseX. I just don't want people to fall for, basically there's going to be a lot of new shiny objects when PulseChain launches, folks. Like, so many freaking new shiny objects that I think it's really best to keep your ear to the ground to make sure that you do your own due diligence for sure. Hear the contrarian views, too, because, guys, like, you can't always be right about everything. But if the contrarian views aren't enough to dissuade you from doing something, like everyone who just tried to be the contrarian to Hex and be like, it's a scam. Well, can you say more? No? Okay. Well, if you can't give me anything more, then I'm going to go ahead and buy Hex. It sounds pretty good to me. But everyone is just like, it's a scam, and then they can't dive into why. And so I think hearing the contrarian view and trying to listen, but yeah, this is what I would say. Guys, it is absolutely crazy, in my opinion, what we have going on in our future as well. So let me see real quick. Did you have any questions, I guess, while you're on my stream? And by the way, folks, just so y'all know as well, I'm actually going to be joining HEXrayVision stream on Monday. So stay tuned for that as well. We have some more information coming there, I'm sure. But this is happening in just a few more days. So if we didn't get all the questions today, maybe we'll ask a little bit more come a different day. But yeah, did you have anything for me?
I was just going to talk a little bit more about the T-shares. Like, if you can find the mechanism in an ecosystem that is where everything matters. So T-shares are the secret sauce. They're what closes the loop and allows the balloon to fill with air and hold that pressure, right? So if you look into Icosa Hedron, the Whatsa is actually the T-share, because you'll always have that thing fill in with value, and there'll always be less of the Whatsas, right? So even though one coin may not rule them all, one idea can rule them all. And when you start noticing that idea in different projects and ecosystems, and you concentrate on that one mechanism that makes it work, then that's the best way to continue to grow and get the most out of these systems.
Yeah, folks, T-shares are so powerful. Like, and that's what I love about Hex, is how far you have to go down the rabbit hole to learn about it. Because once you go down a certain path in this rabbit hole, it just becomes like that much more advanced and that much better and that much better. So like when you finally start learning about T-shares and the power of a T-share and like what the real benefit of staking Hex looks like, that's when you really start evolving into it. So definitely start doing yourself some favors if you aren't familiar with staking Hex and you aren't familiar with the Hedron and WhatsApp and everything that comes along with our ecosystem. Now is definitely the time, because we are still kind of in a bear, kind of in a bull. We're in that last little phase. We're in the final stretch, if you will, before, you know, the next rally really starts happening. So if you can make the changes to, you know, impact your life in the future, and yourself in the future, then now's the time to do so. But real quick,
Definitely.
I wanted to say, go ahead and plug any information here. I'll give you a quick little outro once we're done, and then I got to go hop off and take care of the fam while the wife goes and does some shopping.
No, that would be great. I was wondering, you named your dog Bentley.
Yep.
At what point do you buy a Bentley for Bentley?
Hey man, dude, like, hey, that might be whenever PulseChain goes and does 1000x, you know what I mean? Because that's just play money at that point in time for me. I would say PulseChain, PulseX. If they go and do 1000x and PulseX is 200x and Hex is, you know, 1000x or 100x higher, like, dude, that's play money at that point for the Bentley. So, you know, the wife's always into the fancy cars. I'm so practical. I got a Subaru Outback for my car, and she's got a Red Sport Infiniti Q50, you know, and so she's had the Quadrifoglio Giulia, and she's the one who gets the nice cars. So she'll probably be the one with the Bentley for Bentley, and you know, she's the one who actually appreciates it, where I'm just like, oh, I'm a Subaru driver. You know? I'm gonna take my time, and I'm not in a hurry to do anything.
Like I'm on a slow drive to the campground.
It's so bad. Like, she's like, are you, like, we're going to the theater, we're going to the movies, and she's like, are you gonna gas it? We're gonna be late. And I'm like, we'll get there in time, you know. I'm so chill and laid back now with my life and everything now. It's just like the delayed gratification almost went too far. I'm like, oh dude, I can show up 10 minutes late. I don't mind. Everything's all good. I'm not in any hurry to do anything. So yeah, absolutely, definitely give some plugs for your stuff real quick.
I'm HEXrayVision almost everywhere. There might be like some 5555s on TikTok or Instagram. I don't know how to run any of those. I just publish out there, and if it works, great. So if I'm not following you back on Instagram or TikTok, it's because I don't know how. I'm old. But come check out our live streams, check out our shorts, share anything that you can, clip anything you want from this. There's probably like 6 amazing clips from this interview alone, that if you guys have the time or effort or inclination, I guarantee that ATX is fine with you clipping this and sharing some of the juicy nuggets we got here. And I just can't say thanks enough for welcoming me on. I feel bad now that I didn't get you on some of my e-bikes down there in Austin, man. We were giving out e-bike rides that people were sometimes some of them were crashing, but most of them had fun. And so next time I head down to Texas, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit up some of the other Hex. Texas is a very strong Hexagon state.
It really is.
So when I come on down there, I'm gonna let you guys know ahead of time what's going on.
We're all gonna
go out to Hippie Hollow and get real comfortable with each other.
Hollow. Hey, little new beaches ever. You know, it has allowed some nudity there, just in case anyone doesn't know. But love it.
Yeah, that'll be a different kind of a meetup. But no, I can't thank you enough. Check me out. Obviously, follow and like and subscribe. All this. Come check out our interview on my channel on Monday. I've got a lot of ideas from this stream about opening that scavenger hunt up, because it would be more of a scavenger hunt if you were going to all these other places to get the words.
That'd be a true scavenger hunt right there, for sure.
Yeah. Then people would be like looking through our streams to find that word.
Love it.
So that would be a lot of fun.
Yep. Big fan of that, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure having HEXrayVision with us today. We all hope you gained some valuable, insightful information in this exciting world of crypto. There's so much stuff to learn. If you're not learning, you're not earning, you're not growing. So I'm constantly trying to continue to learn myself and learn something new. So on behalf of everyone here, we want to extend our sincerest thanks to you, HEXrayVision. Like, for real, for sharing your expertise, your knowledge. Definitely go check out all the links are in the description below for HEXray. You can find his YouTube channel link in there, some Twitter links in there. His website as well is in there, so definitely do yourself a favor. Check out the links in the description for that. Thank you again, HEXrayVision, for joining us, and that'll conclude the live stream with HEXray today. And then I'll do a quick little sign off myself real fast, and I'll catch you in the green room, my friend.
Awesome.
All right, folks. That was an absolute banger of a time. I had so much fun with every single one of y'all who got to come in here, join the stream, come in here and have so much fun with us. Yeah, we got Hex Farmer saying in 15 years, today's T-shares will be paying an incredible amount. The last months are massive. Yes, they're absolutely wild. Big GZ says, great show. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers to you as well, Hex Farmer, Agenda 69. For whatever reason, it doesn't show that purple peace sign, but I know which one you're talking about. In the little emojis in here. Fantastic stream to both of you. Thank you so much, Miss Debbie G. It's been an absolute pleasure with every single one of y'all coming through as well. Guys, definitely come check us out on Monday. I will be back doing another live stream tomorrow once again at 1:30 Central Standard Time. So if you aren't already subscribed, you can come and join the link down in the description. Click the subscribe button. And I'm so happy what we got going on in our community, folks. Have an absolute blast. It's Friday. Go have some fun. Go get some drinks. Go chill. Make sure to be responsible. Don't do anything you would do if you know your mom's sitting right next to you type deal. Be responsible, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's stream, folks. Peace.